Okay, so we're back and ready to go with my new mage man and myself. So
Well,
actually, so before we go any further, it's a little on the weird side. So there's a little, yeah, there we go, a little plus bar. That's a little bit on the hidden side. I mean, it's mostly my issue, not anything to do with the game. In fact, it's all me. Um, but yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, just need to level up here. In fact, let's go. There we go. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and see what the leveling up process is. Okay. So it looks like I get a bunch of points here to spend on my stuff here. So I kind of want to have some athletics. Definitely survival as well. In fact, I think I'm going to take double in survival. And then I don't need mechanics. I don't care about that. Lore is good because I like me the lore. And I have 1 point left, so I may as well spend it on stealth. All right, so okay, got that. Oh, cool! I get another talent that I can add. So the Wild Strike Burn allows me to inflict additional burn damage. Okay, so that's what the point of that is. So I already have a freaking bear. Oh, look at that. So there are weapon focuses. Awesome. Okay. Well, there you go. So, okay, so I'm wondering all this time, like, what's the point of me carrying one thing right there, okay? The answer is at first level, really isn't a point to doing it. But yeah, once you level up, and actually I don't get... Oh, okay, so I don't actually get any talents. Remaining 0. So, we'll just go ahead and go forward then. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did I? Oh, I do have one. I just wanted to... I'm a dummy. Okay, hold the line. Okay, so I get engagement. Okay, so I can tank better. Seems like it might be a good idea with the bear because the bear is so badass, but I don't know. Plus 10 reflex. Bear's fortitude. Well, I'm a bear. Bold's will. I like the... interesting. Yeah. Fast runner. Ooh, nice. And then add some defense when disengaging. I think a class one is going to be the way to go. I'm going to be Fire Bear. Actually, yeah. Feel the burn. Oh, I don't know. The shock's good because I can make people thunderstruck. Okay, so let's. Okay, so that looks good to me. Got the Wild Strike Shock. Okay, interesting. So, okay, so yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, and then each weapon, it's cool. They do have their own little idiosyncrasies, each of them. So, like, this does the damage, but then it's also, because it's a spear, and maybe because it's a Zarup spear, it also has +5 accuracy. And if I wanted to add some of this quality stuff, oh, look at that. Turquoise plus Settler's Arrow plus Zarup Tongue. Ooh, I could have, oh, well, I wouldn't have maybe gotten that. Oh, there's spider leg. Okay, I'm walking with a spider leg. Agate and Pilgrim's Crown. Okay, so it looks like everything needs a like a monster item, a gem, and like something that you find on the ground. I guess. Interesting. Okay. In the meantime, that's right. He's got the scepter. The scepter, meanwhile, yeah, doesn't have anything special about it. Wow. It's oh yeah, does crush or slash damage. Oh, and then a little thing about crush. Well, that's his damage types, right? So Always do the damage type that the target is most vulnerable to. That's cool. Um, what? I just know this stuff? Like, well, I guess you could make a good stew, like Carl Williams. This is what you need. You need some good stew. Vegetables, some meat. Oh, R.I.P. Jean Panette. You eat too much beef. You need to eat more vegetable. I apologize to all folks out there. Um, wow, man. Yeah, this game is surprisingly deep. I mean, so it does have proficiencies which is nice. I didn't think I did have any. Now, again, I believe this is Vancian, so can I right click to see what? No. So that means that I have to rest every single time I take a yeah, I have to take a rest every single time I use up all my spells, which sucks. But you know, it's the way D&D's first and second edition, and actually third edition work too. There's a thing about that where a lot of people like the whole my mage starts out like a little wussy boy and then slowly but surely turns into the most badass person in the group. Speaking of badass, I'm close to leveling up again. Oh, that's right. I've got that distant advantage, which I really haven't used because I'm a freaking druid. Whoa. That's not the pistol. Nah. Be quiet. Okay, so what do I want to do? Let's take a look at our journal. Oh, find the dwarf woman. A dead woman hanging from the tree. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna go up to that tree. Let's see if maybe we can find the corpse there, I guess. It's kind of gross, but okay. Some kind of dungeon leading down there. I don't know if I want to try that with two dudes, but... Hello, child. Temple used to be closed up. That's nice of you. Oh, there's that guy. I've already... That was the dude that looked at. There's a lot of people in this game, by the way, who have these histories you can look into if you want to. But I'm, yeah, going to choose not to. Ooh, is that it? I bet that is. Yeah, even if that is, I don't see what I can do about that. Watcher! Ooh, something over here. May as well collect some loot. Blood moss. Yummy! This is...
You looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Looking for someone who can help me feel better. My condolences. Jerk. Welcome to our lovely village. That's all you have to say. Did that move anything forward in this? No, it did not. Oh man. Afflictions, blinded. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I want to run into those. So what? Yeah, what are? Yeah, there's a Skulder. Remember running into them. Large. Well, yeah, you can see they're large mammalian. Oh, hey, now I know a little bit about them. They have the might. Pretty badass reflexes. And 42. Not so great will. So attacking them with will attacks is probably the way to go there. The wolf. Only fought one wolf. I know nothing about wolves except they're about as strong as an average human. Same with a spear spiderling. Damage resistance to pierce and burn weapons. Huh. Interesting. And then the spear spider especially. It relies less on its webs. No reason like why they get bonuses against pierce. It seems like the opposite of what they should have. It's like a bonuses against like, well, I guess an exoskeleton doesn't have like any real holes, so there's nowhere you can like stick a knife between. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, otherwise I am just not seeing Archer, a sellsword, and an Urgiet. I don't know who Urgiet is.
I have received confirmation that Lord Radric's heir was not born well. My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of all Eothasians and whatever other undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands.
See, I don't know that I agree with the decision that they made to make this guy sound sort of evil. Why do you have to do that?
It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old home. There will be no place for you here. You may stay at the inn until you can make the necessary arrangements, but I would not advise remaining long. I expect Lord Radric will be most thorough in his efforts to purify this place.
Okay, I'll leave. Game over. This is outrageous, sir. Then you should have no problem continuing on. Trust me when I say it would be the best if you were not here when Lord Radric's men are dispatched from his hold. They will be looking for anyone who might have brought the legacy upon us, whose very presence might have polluted his wife's womb. They will extinguish all possibilities. I guess tell me more about him? He comes from a long line of nobles who have defended these lands since Idra times. Radric II was an early supporter of Deerwood independence during the Revolution, and the current lord's father perished in the Saints' War. Hollowborn began appearing in the Direwood shortly after the war's end. What? Yeah, what is the Saints' War? Man, there's a lot of lore to this game. It's cool. I mean, I like that they've built out this world and they're letting you live in it. Let's see. Took him on a purge, blah, blah. Okay, what about the Saints' War? Our age's most egregious example of man's madness. Have I mentioned that the writing in this game is a little bit on the florid side? There's just a guy in the street. He's like, egregious example of man's madness. And the anti-disestablishmentarian nature of the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. 15 years ago, the people of Radceres decided that Widewind, the living saint, was the literal incarnation of the god Eothas. This supposed saint took it upon himself to liberate the Direwood, supposedly from allegiances to less worthy gods, but I've never known an army to conquer a land for its people's own good. That's a good point. Fair enough. Evil-sounding guy. The war lasted about a year, but you can guess what that did to the worship of Eothas in the Direwood. Lord Radric's forebears had all been Eothasians, but after his father fell, defending us from those fanatics, he personally saw that the Temple of Eothas here in town was shut down. Oh, that's what that is over there. Okay, well, bye. Interesting. This guy wanna... You move along. Darn it. Well... Yes, I don't have anything new as far as stuff goes. That woman's just gonna glow there. I'm sure that's the dwarven... Oh, there we go. It's like, why can't I click on her? I want to talk to the weird woman. The squat, distended body of an arrow. There we go. The elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough. Just say a thin, crooked branch that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated, purple, come on. Worn away in patches like, what? You don't need, this is too explanatory. Bulges over the rope that suspends her. Hemingway did not write this, that's for sure. Way too many adjectives. Her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her. Oh, interesting. It casts no light on its surroundings, but there's a tepid warmth to it. And you feel that you could somehow reach out and touch it. Oh, I'm totally going to do that. Yeah. Oh, I'm on drugs again. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you've expanded enough to reach her, there's a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Okay. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. Okay, it's a little weird. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives you a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear, or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
You're a weirdo. How are you able to talk to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
So, how are you doing that echo thing? That's kind of a weird effect. It's a cool effect. I want to freak people out with that. Okay, well, first though, I survived a Biawak, whatever those are. Why would that be the case, ma'am?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Or I got into a frickin' ruin before,
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
Am I on drugs?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
Okay, well, I want to figure out what's happened to me. The look of pity, that's nice.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
Okay.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
I'm like Uatu? Yeah, Marvel superheroes.
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on, some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how.
Crap. So are you saying that we're living in the land of the lost? Oh man, it'd be great if Sleestacks were a bad guy in this game.
A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
Wait a minute. What did you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
Oh, fun.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Yeah, so, okay, let's go back a little bit. Souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Well, let's complete this. I want to know about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
Yeah, what's an animancer, other than somebody who does the deed with animals?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us, the best? Inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
Alright, so what happened to you other than that you got hung? Probably because that evil-sounding dude got a bad idea about your type. Oh, well, that made her laugh. I'm glad I'm funny.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer weren't plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
I'm gonna guess nothing.
Nothing.
Woo! I
A
win!
healthy woman, head to
Plus
toe,
20 XP.
blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
Well, you shouldn't have done that then. You should have just been straight with the Lord in the first place. Come on! Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
All right, well, okay, I think I know what I want to know.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Man, well, that was interesting. Are you all right? You seemed lost. Yeah, it happens a lot. You should get used to it. It's good to know, but I don't suppose you can tell me what that was all about. I don't want to tell. This guy's. You're a bit of a weirdo. I don't trust you. I guess I'm a watcher. Well, that is interesting. And I expect that explains how you survived at Biawick. Yeah, I think that's what gave me the power, sir. In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. You know anything about watchers, sir? Only that they're rare, and they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions. As you just demonstrated. Well, yeah, let's get on. So all those people that I was like... All those people that I was seeing here, maybe those are all dead folks? Maybe? Really? Why did Ader say 17 and a half? I think I don't understand why that man is saying anything. All right, well, he regards me with a peculiar...
17 and a half. No, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
What the hell are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted. Anyway.
You know something, sir? A dwarf is still a person. That doesn't count as a half. Freaking ableist. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, it might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What are you talking about? The bodies on the tree. I get that, but okay, go on.
People hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted anyway.
Okay, what was that about a dwarf?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person.
Yeah, she's a full person.
I think you oughta.
I think I should too, because dwarves are people. What, other than the fact that I was talking with the dwarf woman, what makes you think I was interested in her?
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Yeah, do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
Yeah, none taken, but because you're just frankly too weird for me to take offense from. Good. They don't mean it personal when they hang folks here. I have to remind myself.
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
That sucks. Why was he hanged? Got involved. Radric sent men out down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, steps up and said it was him. They took him at his word. It's a terrible idea. Bound to happen sooner or later. Not for plotting against Radric, than for protecting me. Yeah, what does the town have against you, though?
Picked the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, there was a temple to him, to give you some idea.
Kind of sucks to you then.
Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
Okay, the inappropriate laughing was just because of the way he said got real ugly. I'm sorry. It reminded me of, Army of Darkness. I was beautiful once. Man, you got real ugly.
Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
You can see why I was eager to leave. What about the war? Apparently I know nothing about past history. Saints' War, only one in my lifetime. A fella decides he's a living incarnation of Aethys, overthrows Redcaris, marches on Deerwood. So we gave him a Deerwooden hello. I can imagine what a Deerwooden hello is, but I'll let you say it.
We blew him up.
Yep. Aethys is your god, but a god of rebirth and redemption. Normally, anyhow. Maybe they call him different, something different when you're where you're from. Yeah, let's see. So why are you hanging around here if you're next to be hanged? Drinking mostly. Well, that's not a reason. You can drink in a city where they're not about to hang you. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Widewind's legacy. Widewind's legacy. Marriage! Legacy started with a Widewind. I want to know who Kolsk is before I ask you to join my team. Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Yeah, someplace called Kaid Nua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before.
Because you're drinking too much.
Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
And don't you forget it. That's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right, then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
What? I am picking the sights. That's what we're doing. I'm leading the way. Or are you talking to the tree? That, which frankly doesn't make me feel any better about this. Okay, we're gonna get going.